What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Good. If not, let's get better. This is your man Jazz Man with another financial literacy for the modern. Well, you got to get some information. Make the best decision as it relates to your money. This lesson is talking directly about the credit cards. Credit cards. This is very important to some of us. Making sure we understand what the credit cards are and how they affect our credit and how they really go about you know make sure we know the best practices when using those credit cards. Credit cards are definitely um, are good to have, but we want to make sure that we utilize them to the best of our ability to make sure that we getting the best out of them and not going into debt too much, trying to because debt. This country is built off debt. We're trying to build the American dream is built off debt. So you got home debt, you got auto loan debt, with all types of debt. So you want to try to minimize the debt as much as possible. So let's go on. Let you know who we are. New Legacy Group is here to bring together people of all cultures and backgrounds to educate, appreciate, and empower them to produce positive and creative content, build internal assets and revenues, maintain strong networks, as well as develop human resources. We do this through interactive cohesion, thus paving the way for a healthy and positive overall living environment for those communities that we serve. Our commitment to building these platforms and implementing the programs will be valuable to the success of the legacy. Yes, we can. Yes, we will. And soon to say, yes, we did. All right. So today's lesson is basically about credit cards and navigating your future, making sure that you can see how your money works and how you can make sure that everybody that comes in contact with you can understand this simple concept about credit cards. What are credit cards for? This is pretty much again a loan, a debt, a type of debt or loan that you're paying for something and you're paying for it either over time or you're paying for it. Let me get it now and then I'm just gonna I'll pay you for it later. All right. So let's navigate through this here. All right. So the types of credit cards you can get, bank cards, which are, using your Visa, your MasterCard, your Discover cards and stuff like that. Those cards can come to you. You get those deals. You get, some of them come in secured cards. Secured cards again are good for you if you're building your credit. Get your secured card, put your little money down on it, and you can spend what you got and just pay that back over time. All right, then you got store cards. You got Macy's, Target. You back in the day, they used to have J.C. Penney's cards, dealers cards, stuff like that. Things that you can buy in the retail. You get your clothes. It's like instead of having putting it on layaway, you can just get it on credit. All right, take it on home with you now. Pay us over time. They usually have them little books. The uh, what's the name of those electronic books? Electronic books. They used to have the Finger Hut books, and they would have all these electronics and things in that nature that you can buy and order, and you can pay it over time and get credit that way. But then also you got travel and entertainment, like the American Express. You get points, Sky Miles. People, go to travel, they can get Sky Miles and get free, airline tickets and things of that nature. They get, different promotions, and things that are beneficial to travel or entertainment. You get tickets. You buy so much, you spend so much, you pay on time, or they give you special offer. If you buy, since you got a Capital One car, you get the NBA Finals game for a 30% off. So they give you some special offers. Whereas you can you know, get the most bang for your buck, especially when it comes to using your credit card. All right. Now, things to consider when you're trying to get a credit card. What is your primary use for the card? Are you going to be using this for paying your bills? Are you going to use this to, are you going to go and just be using this for, just shopping? What is your overall goal? Are you going to be building your credit? What is the overall goal for the use of your credit card? Is it, this is really pretty much a personal money management device. All right. What are the costs and features of the card? It's costs and features that, when you're a part of certain things, you got to have a membership has its benefits, but also membership costs. Sometimes membership costs. But what are the costs and features of the card? What is the annual percentage rate? What they call the APR? How much is it? Is it the 10%? Is it 11%? Is it 35%? Because some of these credit cards, they're getting outrageous. Just like, for instance, you go to Rent-A-Center or something like that. You get that on loan. You loaning the couch and you paying 300 times what it's worth. It might be a $600 couch. You paying $2,000 for the couch. The APR for eating me up. I went to go get me an Xbox from Showplace. I could have went up to Game Exchange or to one of the little Game Exchange and bought one for a used one. But I wanted the brand new one from Showtime. So they said you can go ahead and pay 90 days same as cash. I said, well, that's how I want to do it. Because guess what? I'm gonna pay the retail price instead of paying the after retail price. So I'm gonna pay about $600 for the Xbox, which was about when it first came out, about $600. So for 1 terabyte. So, but when I look at this contract, now I look at 90 days, same day as cash. So when I go to pay for my last payment, they tell me, well, no, the amount didn't match. What it got to be over a certain amount to get the 90 days same as cash. I'm sitting there like, no, you told me. So it was like, well, hold on. So how much I owe? How much did I put to? I done paid about $400 on this already. I got one more payment left. So how much I owe on it? He said, well, the money that you paid, only 30% of it went to the payment of the what's name. The rest of it went through interest. I said, what kind of stuff is this? So you got to make sure you understand your APR. What's the annual percentage rate? What's the rate on this? How much you charge me for using this? What's the grace period? If I miss it, sometimes you get, somebody might mess up your check at the job. Hold on, you might be in an at-will state where somebody might, you might get fired for nothing, for no reason. You got to make it laid off, or something might happen, or you're going through a holiday, or whatever the case may be. The check might be late. Do you have a grace period if I'm going to be a little late? What's the grace period? What's the annual fee? How much, because sometimes they tell you like this. You're going to pay, it's going to be $0 for the first year, but it's going to be $45 per month per year. So what I'm going to charge you $6 and 17 cents per month for that next year. Or it might be $99 up front, then it's a $200 fee. Whatever the case may be, you got to make sure what is the annual fee? You don't want to keep paying fees. What's the late payment fee? What's the over limit fee? What's the balance computation method for finance charges? How do you compute your finance charge? What's the formula you use? What's the credit limit? How widely is your card accepted? Because some people don't take American Express. Some people don't take Visa. Some people don't take Discover. What services and features are available? These are some of the questions you want to ask when you're choosing your card. The best ones I can tell you, like what's the benefits? How much I know. The fees alone are what you want to make sure that you take the most consideration of. All right. The finance charge, better known as the average percentage rate. We were just talking about that. The average daily balance is based on those things that they're based on. Let's go back a little bit. Let me go back here where it says now balancing the computation of the method for the finance charge. We're going to talk about that right now. The balancing the computation method for the finance charge. So the average balance, daily balance, might be something to look at. The adjusted balance of what how much you owe versus how much you've been paying off. The previous balance, past due balance. Best practices to increase your score and manage your credit card properly. Only use 30% of the limit and pay it off each month on time. Enjoy those benefits and benefits of your score going, increasing. Making sure that you're keeping that, pay that off quickly. Don't let it build up, because once you get behind, it's hard to catch up. Once you get behind, it's hard to catch up, especially when you're trying to, when you live in check, you got to pay Peter, pay Paul. Every 2 weeks get paid, so you got to wait that week, and then everything else pile up. You got to wait Important things to remember when shopping for a car: review the application thoroughly, understand the terms, understand the contract. Understand if you don't. How long do I have? If I'm losing my job, how long do I have before y'all report this to my credit? Hold on, how often is your credit? How do you report to the credit? You know what I'm saying? How often is my payment? When is my payment due? Because some people, we sign these contracts and you supposed to the payment say, hold on, I just paid you on the 31st, right? But now you want another payment on the 15th. Now that ain't even 30 days gone, right? So they saying that we charging you in advance for. Wait a minute, charging me in advance for? How you charging me in advance for a service I ain't even used? So make sure you thoroughly, interpret the features and the cost of what they, charging you for. Compare with other credit card services. Like you said, why do I want to choose Visa over Mastercard, or why do I want to choose DirecTV over Dish? Am I getting more channels? Hold on, is my price going to change over the year? How is hold on. If I sign up for now like that, they used to do in DirecTV, you sign up for this deal for 2 years, but after that your bill gonna fluctuate. You're gonna pay $64.99 now, but in 2 years, after that 2 year deal is up, now we're gonna wig you in with the NFL Network. We'll give you that free. We're gonna throw that in free for you. You can watch NFL Network, and then we might throw you some. They might talk to you about the channel. You like the young rest. You'll put your local channels in there. They're gonna give you. They're gonna sell you the car. But after 2 years, now you're selling them at $64.99. Now you're paying $149.99 because now that's the. Okay, so make sure you interpret the cost. Watch out for them deals. Wait, hold on. And then that one deal we get when they say, hey, try a 7-day free trial, and you forget to cancel the trial. You got to watch out for that. All right. This here is a credit card statement. There's an important detail that you want to look at when you're reviewing your credit card statement. You want to look at your account number, make sure the account numbers are correct. Your credit limit is going to show you that. The interest rate that they're charging you for your interest, for your purchases and things of that nature. Payments, due dates, your minimum balance, and your total due balance. And then they give you information on when it's supposed to be due, how much credit you got left, all that good stuff. You want to make sure you review that and make sure you keep a record of, because just in case somebody can say, hey, I had somebody use my credit card in Oregon. I ain't never been to Oregon. I don't know what Oregon. Only thing I know about Oregon is Oregon Trail. That was the thing we used to use in on the computer lab. Anyway, the Fair Credit Billing Act and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. These two are very important. The Fair Credit Billing Act is a federal law that protects the consumers from unfair billing practices and provides a mechanism for disputing billing errors or open credit accounts, such as credit cards. So this is what you don't want to use. You want to make sure that this is you. Hold on. This is the things you want to review when you're talking about credit. You want to get things off your credit. These are two bills that you want to look at. That's some of the documentation you want to use to kind of get some of that stuff off your credit. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is a federal law designed to promote the accuracy, the fairness, and privacy of consumer information in the files of consumer reporting agencies. So these are two very important acts that were put in place back in the 70s, early 70s. One was in 1970, I believe. The Fair Credit Reporting Act was in 1970, and the Fair Credit Billing was in 74. So those two acts, are very important. I believe, but they wasn't done in the 70s. I'm not sure the dates, but I think it was 1970 and 1974. Those two were put into place. So make sure you look at those things and make sure you stay up on your credit. Protect your credit when using your credit cards. Protect prompt credit reporting. Make sure that people are promptly, reporting stuff to their credit, especially when you pay stuff off or it's charged off or whatever the case may be. Get this off my credit. When they call you on the phone, when creditors call you on the phone, they call you by your first and last name. Hold on, wait a minute. Before you say this is me, hold on. Who do you represent? What's your nature of your call? Once you say this is he, they have made contact with you. They have made contact with you. But if you ask questions first before you let them know who you are, hold on, wait a minute. Because sometimes that's when they can be started debt. You got 7 years to pay on something. That got 7 years, but they're gonna be started debt by you just answering the phone. Your account must be credited on the day your payment is received. When you pay your bill, hold on, I want that to come up. Come on, let me show me proof. That's why you got to get the receipt. Get the receipt. Refunds or credit balances, making sure that you if you have somebody somebody has double charged or something. If the requested the car insurance must send refunds within 7 business days of receiving your request. So, no, I want a refund on that. They can't argue with you when it's your money. Hold on, I didn't make that purchase. How can you tell? Okay, unauthorized charges. If you're the victim of identity theft or card fraud, you may or will be typically not held responsible for the charges under the Card Zero liability program. So if somebody steal your car, you make some other unauthorized purchases, you covered in most cases. Dispute about merchandise or services. In some circumstances, you have the right to dispute payment for merchandise or services. Like you've been buying that stuff from overseas and you get it and it ain't what you look for. So you want your money back. Okay. But innovation solutions on making sure that you keep your credit together. Prompt credit reporting. Oh, wait a minute. I did that twice. That's all right. But some other information I want to go over real quick before I get up off of here. Let me go here to. Let's go back here. Let's go there. All right. So when you're dealing with credit cards, always when you protect yourself. Make sure that you keep your cards, your card numbers, your phone numbers to call if your card is lost or stolen. Until the bill arrives, receipt for purchases and returns. Make sure you keep all receipts until your bill is arrived. Receipts for merchandise ordered that has not yet been arrived, please, that appears in your bill. Hold on, it's I've been charged for, but I haven't gotten it. Take a couple weeks for it to get there. I haven't gotten it. Make sure you keep a record of it. Record record of telephone orders and the confirmation numbers. Keep your confirmation numbers always good to call and say, I talked to Roberta on such and such day, and she gave me this confirmation number. That way they can go ahead and look it up, and you got proof. When using your card, keep your card in sight. Never give credit card numbers over the phone if you do not initiate the call. So if you ain't calling them, don't give them no numbers. Report lost or stolen cards immediately. Carefully read the bill before paying it. Compare amounts on your receipts to your bills. Don't always assume the bill is correct. Keep receipts shred when not needed. Shop only on secure websites and don't write down your PIN numbers to carry with you on your card. All right. The do's and don'ts. Shop around. Look at various sources. Read the contract carefully. Don't rush into signing anything. Once signed, get a copy of the contract. Know the penalties for missed payments. Figure out the total price when paying with the credit card. Paying bills in full makes the largest amounts, make you feel comfortable. It makes also your credit score goes up as well. Don't be misled into thinking small payments will be easier. Advantages to using the credit card: ability to obtain the needed items right away. Use the cards builds credit history. Quick source of funds in an emergency. No extra charge for your bill is paid in full each month. Disadvantage: credit cards are loans that charge interest if not paid in full. Fees might be charged for late payment or going over the spending limit. Can encourage impulse buying and unnecessary purchases, and need to establish credit worthiness before getting the car. So that is my spiel for today. Y'all make sure y'all keep your money tight so we can get this thing all right. It's all good in the hood. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be there. Like I said, these lessons get a little bit more animated when I'm in front of people, but this is just giving you the meat and potatoes of the course. But like I said again, I can give you all the mustard. Just give you a little bit to give you a little taste and get you ready prepare for the full meal. Once again, this is Jazzman Brown. It's New Legacy Groups Financial Literacy Part 4. See y'all soon with Part 5.